A lot of times in our churches today, people look at the senior pastor and they say, why don't you understand what we're about, especially if you work with kids or youth? And frankly, I was one of those clueless pastors that I thought as long as we have a good kids ministry and youth ministry and my wife was in charge of the kids, that was a good thing. Then I ended up going to a conference in Singapore, and I was excited for my wife because there was all these children's people, missions people that were talking about a movement of kids. But at the end of it, something happened that changed my life. And I think it's pertinent to pastors today. At the end of this thing, God spoke to me, and I started weeping about God saying to me, I want you to give the rest of your life to this. And I said, well, wait a minute, I pastor pastors, I lead a church and churches, and I had no idea what that meant, but God broke my heart. And then I began to see the younger generation and realize that I need to be a champion and an advocate for them. And I used to be a high school teacher and a coach and involved with that generation, but the older I got, it was more difficult to relate. Here's what I want to say, that you can't see what you can't see. And so when you look at senior pastors or leaders and you say, don't you understand what, it's like sometimes they don't. And so, but God spoke to me, but I had people that were being kind and patient with me. And I watched my wife raise up these kids and leaders and stuff until I got it. And so I'm infected. And so what I want to say to those of you that are senior leaders and pastors that, God wants you in the game and wants you to tune in and have a vision for this next generation. Because if we don't raise up the next generation, it's over. It really is over. And they want to be raised up. They want to be a part. And I think we need to get past our intimidation and running the church and feeling overwhelmed. But I don't think there's anything greater we can give ourselves to than investing in the next generation and those that are working with kids and young people, that they need our leadership. They need us in the game and supporting them and standing with them.